This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
And we begin at 6 with your weather impact forecast. We have some live images over downtown St. Louis coming in. Another hot and humid day, and some scattered storms are moving through the area. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brent Solomon. Those storms' chances continue over the next few days. Meteorologist Gary Frank is here to tell us more about the timing.
Yeah, good evening, Brent. This is certainly the most widespread rain, and we hate to call it that way because it's still widely scattered, as you mentioned. But as far as the type of storms that we've had over the last couple of days have been hit and miss. We look at this Chesterfield camera, and you can see that. Dry on one side of it, but on the far right-hand side, you can see where it's raining. And that's where we'll look at some of this rain that's been moving from south to north, which is a bit odd to some degree on the surface, but it makes a little bit more sense when I pull this out, and I'll show you why it's moving from south to north here in the next 10 minutes. But let's focus on the areas that are starting to get some of that rain. Chesterfield has now cleared out. Further to the north, this is where probably the heaviest rain is, north of Rosedale, and that's even near Old Monroe. Types of rain like that now sprinkling downtown. Hit and miss rain throughout the evening. Not a lot of lightning, but some brief heavy downpours at 79 degrees. It's very humid. That trend continues. And into this evening, expect this trend at least through midnight. And I think we'll see off and on rain, which will highlight some of the rainfall rates, talk about why that's moving from south to north. And I also want to discuss our big change when it comes to the lack of heat, and we'll turn that temperature right back up over the next few days.
All right, we'll see you in a bit. In just the last few hours, we've confirmed a person has drowned in the Merrimack River. The call for water rescue came in just after 1 this afternoon. That's when Central County Fire and EMS responded to the Merrimack River near the Missouri 109 overpass. Authorities say they pulled a person from the water and started CPR. Right now, we don't know that person's identity or what led up to their death. We will have more on that drowning tonight at 10. You can also follow KSDK.com and the 5 on Your Side app for updates. Right now, police are investigating a deadly shooting in downtown St. Louis. Around 3:30 this morning, police showed up to North 9th Street for reports of a shooting. They found a handgun and a man laying in the street there next to a car. He died at the hospital. The homicide division now investigating. They have not identified a suspect or motive. A car crashes into 2 homes in the Metro East, sending a man to the hospital. It happened around 6 this morning on Ranworth Drive near Pierce Lane in Godfrey. The fire department says one of the homes now has serious damage. One of the homeowners tells us speeding is a big problem there.
This area right here off of Pierce Lane, we have frequent wrecks where people come flying around the corner of Pierce Lane at accelerated speeds.
The driver is in the hospital with minor injuries. With just weeks before the start of the school year, the leadership in St. Louis Public Schools is in limbo. The superintendent is now on temporary leave. Sources say there are concerns over how the district is spending its money. Some parents are concerned about what this means for the start of the school year. Some organizations are now making sure students have what they need to succeed. A big push for communities this year is health. Travis Cummings takes us to 2 expos helping families in our area.
With less than a month before a new school year,
You want to go play a game?
the Hub in St. Louis's Ville neighborhood was a one-stop shop for Martina Ewing and her 2 boys this weekend.
I love the fact that we have available resources for children who have speech difficulties. And my 3-year-old, he's kind of struggling with that.
It's fun and business.
That's how I love that resource was available to me. And also preschool supplies for children who really needs them.
So there's a lot of components for back to school. It's a little bit stressful. Some of our kids might have trouble communicating that they're having difficulties. It can often be easy to overlook.
The Walker Scottish Rite Clinic inside the Hub is making sure kids 2 to 6 years old have speech and language support for free.
A lot of times they don't even know that they're working on their speech and language, so it's really important to make things fun and then educational for our parents and caregivers especially.
Because you will be sending your kids out to the world and you won't be with them all the time, so it's very important that you build that confidence and that speech within your child.
Here at Cara STL, also on St. Louis's north side, a similar mission. The families you see waiting here are getting ready to get their physicals and necessary vaccinations, all required for when they return to the classroom.
We all know we have gone through a lot of trauma, and we know we're in post-COVID. So these children need to feel safe again. They need to trust that we have their health care and their we have their life in our best interest.
More than 40 vendors engaging families with services to equip them for a successful start.
We have haircuts, we have clothes, we have vendors there for other social services for their family. So this is very important. We don't want to be the reason they're not in school.
Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
Today, an official blessing for St. Louis's newest homeless shelter. The Archbishop went to the Peter and Paul Homeless Shelter, providing an official Catholic anointing. The new Peter and Paul Community Campus is touted as the largest homeless services space in the city. The Archbishop says he is grateful to everyone who has made these services possible. Area businesses joining forces to help revitalize the College Hill neighborhood. The Urban League partnering with the City of St. Louis and the Regional Business Council for the cleanup event that you see here. Volunteers also installed exercise equipment, benches, and other park amenities. Today's event is one of the many efforts underway to keep North St. Louis clean. Listen to what one volunteer had to say.
My dad was the founder of Peace Park back in the late 80s. In the 90s, my dad, running his outreach ministry, he also connected, say, hey, this is a space for people to come and feel peaceful.
He grew up in that neighborhood. He says he's so glad to see people focusing on making it better.